Have I missed the boat by keeping Saka? Well, I've got 3 free transfers for FPL Gameweek 9 and there's a busy midweek of action which should help things become clearer. Help me get this one to 1,000 likes and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Like many, Game Week 8 has been a disaster. I've still got one player to play, Chris Wood, tonight. I'm recording this video on Monday morning. But as things stand, Morgan Rogers is my only player to return this game week. I made one free transfer going into the week, which was to sell Jackson for Solanke. Obviously, that move didn't pay off. Saka failed to make the squad, as did Greaves, but I didn't have anything to come off my bench either, with 1-pointers from Dibbling and Colwill. Double Arsenal defence let me down once again. It doesn't really get much worse than this. 22 points as things stand. A red arrow, but I guess it's a good week to have a bad week because most people are in this same situation, and at least I'm going into Game Week 9 with 3 free transfers and 0.9 million in the bank. Now, it's definitely a week to be patient with those transfers because we have 7 Premier League teams in action in Europe this midweek. Hopefully for Tuesday, we'll get an idea on the availability of Saka. I think if he was to make the squad for the game against Shakhtar Donetsk, then it's a very different story in terms of what to do with him in FPL. We also see Aston Villa at home to Bologna, Liverpool away at RB Leipzig, and Man City at home to Sparta Prague. Now, you can play Champions League Predictor Fantasy on the Sleeper app with their Pick'em UCL prediction pool. Simply choose win or draw for every Champions League game this midweek, and the top 3 in each pool will win a share of $1,000 worth of prizes. If you're interested in checking that out, check out the link in the description to this video. I'm going to be backing all the English teams for a win in these. I feel like a home game is a definite advantage and there's no significant opposition. Liverpool away at RB Leipzig again feels like a winnable fixture given Liverpool's current form. So hopefully the Premier League teams can bring home the points. Remember, you get 1 point for each correct prediction, and those with the highest predictions at the end of the match day will win those prizes. Now, as well as match day 3 for the Champions League on Thursday, we see match day 3 for the Europa League. Manchester United travel to Fenerbahce while Spurs host AZ Alkmaar. And also in match day 2 for the Conference League, Chelsea travel to Panathinaikos. Remember, Cole Palmer not a part of that UEFA Conference League squad, so he will get the midweek off. But, you know, lots of injuries can come up in these European midweeks. We need news on Saka, which could inform our transfer decisions for the weekend. So try and hold on to those transfers as long as possible. But remember, it is a Friday deadline. When it comes to my own transfer plans, then a lot depends on the availability of Saka. I'd imagine Arteta has a press conference today. We'll see whether Saka makes the Champions League squad on Tuesday. Now, I do feel like Saka is a long-term hold for me in FPL. So if he makes that Champions League midweek squad, then I think I probably will hold him. But if he doesn't, then that becomes a tipping point to sell. Now, I am interested in Son because Spurs have the form and the fixtures. We know that Son always comes back hot following an injury, and it feels like a nice move, especially because I still think probably Son has got penalties. We don't know between him and Solanke at the moment. I did buy Solanke last week, so it would be a double up on the Spurs attack, but I think that's really viable given their fixtures over the next 3 game weeks. I am still thinking about Liverpool's Mohamed Salah though, who has got his 5th double-digit return of the season in 8 appearances. He's been one of the most consistent performers to start the season, 10 goal involvements, and to get that result against Chelsea was significant. We were worried that maybe in the Arne Slot era they hadn't been tested, but they continue to go from strength to strength. I could get Salah in for Saka as well, but it would mean downgrading Gabriel in my defence. But one place I could go in the defence is Wolves' Ryan Ait-Nouri, either as a downgrade of Gabriel to afford Salah or to upgrade the injured Greaves. I do look at my defence and think probably the fixtures for the other players are there this week that I maybe don't need to make a defensive transfer because it would just give me a benching headache. But Wolves' kind fixture run is finally here. We already know that Aït-Nouri is among the most attacking defenders in FPL this season. So if Wolves do manage to find some clean sheet consistency as well, given the run of games that they've got coming up, then Aït-Nouri could be fantasy gold. But it's very difficult to get him in for my team this week, so a lot depends on the Saka situation. I am going to try and roll if Saka makes that midweek European squad. If he doesn't, then it becomes up in the air exactly what moves I make for that Friday deadline. Team selection time then, and as it stands, it is still going to be a double up on the Arsenal defence for Liverpool at home. Saliba obviously a loss in this fixture, which is a concern, but it's very difficult to bench Gabriel given his goal threat. Raya, this game could be any score. It could easily be a 0-0 and then, you'd get a haul from these two players. So I am happy to hold them and start them. The fixtures for my other defenders look great. Lewis with Southampton at home. Konsa with Bournemouth at home. Now, he missed out through injury last time out. He was in the squad, but he didn't start. I imagine he's been protected for the midweek Champions League. So I do need to see some midweek minutes under Konsa's belt to be confident of a start in this one. But I do have Colwill first sub at home to Newcastle. Greaves is now out for a month, so he's not offering me much from the bench. Moving into the midfield then, and my attack picks itself at the moment, especially when my 8th attacker is Dibbling, who's got City away this week. So it is looking like a midfield of Saka, Palmer and Burmo and Rodgers, all with home games, and aside from Saka, favourable home games at that as well. But Saka could be Son, depending on what we learn about Saka's fitness in the next few days. And then up front, we've got Chris Wood away at Leicester, good fixture for him. Solanke away at Palace, another attractive game. And Haaland with the fixture of the weekend at home to Southampton, which kind of eradicates any captaincy conversation this week. Obviously, Manchester City's form has been of concern, have not been freely scoring, but Kevin De Bruyne, crucially, is back, which is a huge boost. I do think Southampton at home is probably one of the fixtures of the season. I think if it hadn't been for City's poor form and Haaland's 3 blanks, then a lot of managers would be confident triple captaining him in this game. But I think given the current climate, I'd advise managers to wait. But yeah, it's got to be Haaland captain. I just want to close by saying thank you to everyone that supported the Game Week 8 Marathon charity stream. I managed to smash that target of £1,000 with gift aid as well. It's looking like 1,300, which is absolutely phenomenal. So really pleased with that, guys. Thank you so much for supporting. The latest episode of the FPL Green Room podcast was released this morning. Do go and check that one out. Let me know in the comments your dilemmas for FPL Game Week 9, and let's get this one to 1,000 likes. Thank you for watching.